Oh, hello there, and welcome to another episode of Up for Discussion. I'm Sam,
I'm
and today we will be discussing
Gotham
the latest
episode. Whatever. What episode is it?
Series 3,
Mm.
Episode 12, Smile Like You Mean It. That's the name of the episode. How do I know
Oh,
that? I got lucky and remembered it. Right, so it aired last night in US, but people in the UK, you ain't getting it for months, you know what I mean? Normally Gotham airs on Channel 5, but it ain't even started yet, and we're like 12 episodes in. Now, my good friend here is not such a big fan of Gotham. We'll get into that into the video, but we'll start off with the main centerpiece. I mean, they dropped the bomb, didn't it? Jerome is the Joker. I mean, it started off strong. I think the thing is with them, I think they were umming and ahhing about whether Jerome was going to be the Joker or he was going to be like a prelude to it, and I think they just doubled down because I mean, pretty much the third line of it, because you'll remember at the start they're playing cards and there's like three nines and the Joker's wild. That's four in a thing, you know what I mean? So I thought, oh, aye, they've just dropped Joker, you know what I mean? They could have been sitting there, playing rock, paper, scissors or something, but they just happened to be playing cards. They drop a Joker reference. Okay, we'll let that one slide. Now we'll go on a little later into the episode, and obviously you've got the acolytes coming through the door laughing like idiots. I mean, the main guy, what was his name, Dwight. It was just I think they played it well, where you watch it and you just think this guy's a baggage, you know what I mean? Let's get this one out of the way. But then obvious, what you
isn't
grit
he? Wasn't he the guy from
the
the
Dark
Dark Knight?
Knight, yeah. In
Okay.
the Two Face kind
Yeah.
of, or Harvey Dent corners in the under thing, yeah. He's got a dopey face and it was annoying me, so you know what I mean. The less of him, the better. But I think it was pretty funny though, because it was coming off like a full-on wannabe and that, and obviously as the episode it gets real good. But then obviously the acolytes come through, and then it turns out like the other security guards with him, and he stabs him. Then you see the blood splattered Joker card. That for me is when I think the producers were just like, you want to know what? Let's cut the nonsense. We'll double down. Here's the Joker and the story.
Yeah, I
So
hate that.
okay,
I don't want an origin for the Joker. I remember. I thought. Okay, look. Credit where it's due. I think the actor's pretty good. He's got the laugh nailed.
mhm,
Um, I remember him from season one. He was all right there, but I thought what they were going to do at the time was like a Killing Joke kind of thing, where they do like a multiple origin story, and they would have lots of different people who can maybe be the Joker, and you never really know which one it is. To actually really now, as you say, double down and say he's the Joker, yeah. Bruce Wayne's the kid. There's no Batman. He's got a load of acolytes running around Gotham doing their crappy thing.
yeah, but you think you've got to look. Joker has like a big gang. You know what I mean? If you look in the grand scheme of things, he's like if you were to split Gotham into three, you'd have, oh, so you can't even split it into three. If you were to split Gotham into five, you'd have Two Faces gang, you'd have the Black Masks gang, you'd have Penguin, you'd have the Joker. I'm trying to think who the other one was. Okay, split into four, you got that, the four biggest gangs. Now, you got Penguin with everyone under the thumb, knowing everyone. You got the Black Mask with his money, and then you got Two Face with his just like whatever it is he is. Now, the Joker, he kind of. You've got. For him to kind of assume a gang of like-minded individuals who are going to go around wearing doofy little masks, you got to think that the apple don't fall far from the tree. So for him to have like acolytes running around now, like a bunch of people like obsessed with him, ready to do whatever for him, then that kind of, for me, that makes sense.
Yeah, but I think they're a bit lame. I don't like
Oh, they were very lame.
the
Oh
goofy
Christ, yeah.
laughing. Yeah,
I was just like, oh my god, get over it. You know what I mean? But I think they were just trying to make him come off unhinged and sinister. I mean, the, the kind of people who would idolise him would have to be kind of a bit wacky and kind of easily influenced, if you know what I mean. Like, oh, here's this guy, goofy laugh. You know, you on it? Oh yeah, let's run around laughing like idiots and not really caring. So I think that was good. I mean, one thing that bothered me, which was starting to annoy me, was when he was kind of in his chamber and he had, do you know, like the Nicholson grin on his face. I was just staring at
mm.
it and I was trying to think, like, have they like put like prosthetics on his face? Because I figure they must have in that to have like the smile, because the laugh lines there were like too prominent. I was thinking, guaranteed they've like put prosthetics on or something, but that was bothering me. But apart from that, I wasn't really. I thought it was pretty good. Now, thing that was kind of this Selena Kyle thing.
Oh, with the mother.
Yeah, that was obvious that was going to happen, and I was just like, I beg she just. I thought it was cool because she kind of looked a little like Selena, if you know what I mean, in the
Oh yeah,
face.
she's in. I forget her name. It's got a. She's in Banshee. It's a good show.
Never heard of it. But anyway, she looked like her in the face, but it was obviously she was like conning and stuff. They were in on it. I was like, that is so obvious. Come on, just get it, just reveal it and get her out of here. And then obviously, what did you think?
Yeah, I agree. See, that's what I was trying to do. I haven't seen the show in about 2 years now, so you correct me. I don't know. I was maybe giving the show too much credit. I thought maybe we're meant to know this is obvious. Was that not true? Was it just bad writing?
Um, Nah, I don't think. It depends, because like it played out like you want that this guy, he comes along and he threatens her as like, oh yeah, go get money from Bruce Wayne. That was literally because she'd only been in the episode before. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well then that's a bit lame, and it's this thing we see over and over and over again. I guess the point of it then is to set up some sort of relationship drama between
Hmm.
Catwoman and Catwoman, Selina, and Bruce Wayne.
I tell you what, what another standout. I mean, the episode was great, but to kind of have everything going on with Jerome and stuff like that. But I tell you another moment that stood out for me, which I thought was great, when she comes in and she's like, yentering at Bruce Wayne, and then she starts like slapping him up. Then all of a sudden he's like dodging the punches, and then he grabs the foot. I was like, that was sick, because that's the first time you've actually seen Bruce Wayne actually like, because normally he gets slapped up and stuff like that, but literally it's like
Oh, does
she's.
he?
Yeah, it's like you don't really see him flex, but whenever he does, it's kind of like whoosh. You know what I mean? That's what it's kind of training. But
So
like,
in the last couple of years, have they still been training to fight?
yeah, but you're only really seeing boxing with Alfred and stuff like that. You don't actually see him like do anything decent. And this was probably like the first episode where, because I was like double taking, because you see her smack him a couple of times, and all of a sudden it's just like. And I'm like, yo, what was that? Did she just slap him and like his head move, or did he actually dodge that? And then she's like swinging a couple more, and it's like like that, and I was like, yo! And then she does like the roundhouse kick, and he just catches it with his thing, and I was like, ah! I was like, yes! Finally, Bruce has pulled his finger out his brown and is actually like getting somewhere.
It was kind of cool. I dug that, but
I
what?
liked his hair. I like the way he just is like holding her foot. His hair's like down a bit. He's just like standing there and he's like doing the old charismatic thing, like telling her how it is. It's like if you aged them both up,
Right.
that's not.
Okay. This is my question. How old are they? Because this is a relatively. Mature is not the wrong word, but certainly an argument I think they should be having about 5 years down the line. They do seem a bit too young for this.
Yeah, but it's like, but you got to think like Bruce Wayne's like mature. You know what I mean? Mature. is a mature guy. You know what I mean? He's not like a dumb guy. He's like pretty like.
Sure, but aren't they like 14? Well, how mature can you be?
Yeah, but I think that's like you see 14-year-olds these days who are like banging around and like everything's bay and stuff like that. You'd hold Bruce Wayne to a higher.
I guess, but I mean, he's Batman. I get that, but to know that her mother is scamming him and not care and do all this just not to hurt Catwoman's feelings or whatever.
Yeah, but I
at
think he
14, really?
I think maybe he knew she was going to kick off. I mean, is he really that naive to think? I was expecting like a conversation with Alfred where he comes out and says it, but like I think he was playing a bit too naive in that to think she wasn't going to kick off. But I think I literally do think he got kind of full of himself. That was kind of a Bruce Wayne full of himself. Like he's grabbed the foot, he's looking all smarmy, he's got the hair, he's looking handsome, and then he just tells us straight, it's like, yo, I was doing it to protect you. For him to think that
You sounded a bit pedo now, by the way.
not like that, but I'm saying, you know what I mean. But like to
Yeah, you
expect Selina Kyle was just like gonna melt and be like, oh, thank you, Bruce, thank you. You know what I mean? I think he got a little too cocky there, and that's kind of reminiscent of their relationship, kind of later down the line. You know what I mean? He's quite naive when it comes to Selina Kyle, which I thought if that was literally Batman and Catwoman like in the future, that's the kind of interaction they'd have, which I thought was damn good. But I'm telling you, when he was dodging them punches and grabbed the foot, I was like, damn, Bruce Wayne's pulling it out the bag. That was probably like that probably one of the best moments of the season. Definitely, like, I put it down because there's so much Joker stuff going on, you know what I mean? That's like the second best thing to happen in the episode. I was kind of, if we kind of veer off of that and kind of go into like the other subplot lines with um, Barbara and Penguin and stuff.
Okay, Penguin. I have a question.
Mhm.
Is Penguin a Penguin and the Riddler gay?
Riddler's not gay, but I think Penguin's gay because
Okay.
Penguin's in love with with the Riddler. Yeah, because I is.
I remember Riddler having a thing for that blonde chick in the first season. She dead.
Yeah, he killed her, he
Okay.
strangled her. And then another one come along. There's basically the spitting image of her, but then Penguin got jealous and killed her, staged an accident, and Riddler knows, but Penguin doesn't know that he knows, and now Riddler's trying to like destroy him physically and mentally and like just like kill him or whatever, but playing his little games and stuff. And then Barbara and Tabitha are trying to sneak in and get control of Gotham, which I don't really think Riddler cares about control of Gotham, but they're all about it. But
I don't care about those two. Out of everything in this episode, they're the one that did my head in the most.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like Saturday morning cartoon, like a bad version of the Adam West show with them two. Especially when Tabitha starts gunning down people at the end, and I suppose it's meant to be this like kind of badass, shocking thing. I'm looking at it, it's goofy as all hell.
Yeah, she's kind of hot though. I tell you what, Barbara looked good in that episode. Normally she
She's not unattractive.
Pardon?
Her attractiveness was never a problem from what I remember in the first season.
Yeah, but like me personally, I just thought she was like, meh, she's good looking, you know what I mean? But there was something about this episode, and I think her makeup was done really well or something. But I was just looking at her and I was thinking, you wanna know what? Damn, she don't look too bad. If I was like I don't. I haven't got a problem with like gay or anything like that, but it's like the fact that they made Penguin gay is
I don't know, it doesn't really matter, I guess.
because if I was Penguin, I would have jumped over that counter and banged Barbara. That's all. I was just watching it. I was thinking, Penguin should just bang her. You know what I mean? But then that was just me.
Yeah, I think it's kind of an interesting angle to go down though, with a gay mob boss or whatever he is.
Yeah, because it's interesting really because you don't really I think Penguin's all about his business. Really, it's not really about a relationship. You know what I mean? So I don't think it really. It is all about control of Gotham. I'm like the best. I've like got all the power. I think he's more focused on that. I don't. You don't really see him with like a girlfriend or whatever, because to him, like it's all about power. So to
Also
make
very sexual.
yeah, to kind of yeah, it's all about like controlling Gotham and everyone looking up to him like, oh yeah, you're amazing, Mr. Cobblepot, blah blah blah. I think it's more about that, and I think you see that in the comics that where you kind of look at it and you think it wouldn't really matter if he's gay or not, because you don't really see it focusing on like a relationship, because his relationship is with Gotham as a whole. You know what I mean? So,
Hmm.
I think that's one where the writers could look at, you know what I mean? It don't really. You could do the same for Riddler as well, because it is all about his games and that. You don't really see Riddler going around like banging people, do you? It's like Riddler's all about that kind of game and stuff like that. That's why,
No.
like, you
Well,
got
I think he might have had a daughter in the comics, but no. But generally speaking,
yeah, you know what I mean. You can see how like, because it's like with Joker, you know what I mean. You give him like a girlfriend, Harley Quinn, but he don't really care about her. He's like doing his thing, and she's just there. You know what I mean. And maybe I think they looked at Penguin and thought, you wanna know what is all about money, power, glory. It's like we might as well just make him gay. You know what I mean? Because we ain't gonna have a massive storyline with him like with a girlfriend or wife or whatever. So it's just like just make him gay. You know what I mean? So.
also, and how the actor played him, you know, quirky, leaning towards camp.
A
It goes
penguin.
hand in hand. Yeah,
Yeah, he kind of throws hissy fits, doesn't he?
yeah.
It's good though. It's probably like generally fan wise, I'd say most of the people would lean to him being like the best character in it. But you know what I mean.
I would. It seems to be.
So there we go. So I mean, we'll flick back over to the Joker. Um,
Yeah, I didn't. You know, I guess I kind of got what they were going for with like the new 52
yeah, cutting his
paper
face.
face. I just thought it looked all a bit, especially when he stapled it back on. I was like, oh, you know what,
Um,
hokey.
see,
Maybe they just
that's
didn't have the budget to go with it.
That's interesting where they say with the multiple Jokers, because I mean, somewhere down the line, could he just whip his face off and then just put another person's face on and go about his business elsewhere? Because that's what I think they kind of did that as like an avenue to cover their bases, where he can just whip his face off, cut someone else's face off, whack it on, and then all of a sudden is a different person, but same personality. Do that about 10 times, then there's your multiple origins, you know what I mean? Because you could have him vanish, you could have another actor come in and do whatever, and then it turns out, oh yeah, he's Jerome, it's just he's got someone else's
But by
face.
that point, if it's another actor doing another thing, you might as well have it be another person. You know, I don't particularly like. You know, I've never made no secret. I don't like that they're going with the Joker. I don't like that there's a Joker before the Batman. But if you're gonna do it, just go for it. If you want it to be this Jerome guy, screw it. No point. There's no point in pussyfooting around it now. Just go for it. Bring
Exactly.
in Harley if you want. I don't like it, but you've made your bed buying it.
So I mean, I mean, I figure now with the next episode, because he's gonna. I'm glad he blew up that guy. I'm kind of glad of that.
Because
I mean, his jokes he was running around going getting his face back. That was pretty good, and it was good when he didn't have his face as well. When he was like with Lee, I thought that was interesting as well. That
it's
weren't too
Lee.
bad. Uh, that chick you like,
Oh, Leslie Tompkins.
yeah, well
Lee.
Lee.
I don't
Everyone
like
calls
that.
her Lee. So
I
I
hate
mean,
that.
so I thought that
She's
was
attractive.
yeah, where he was
So
like,
angry.
pardon.
So very angry. Why is she so angry? Some
Oh,
about she had a husband.
because like yeah, in like the mid-season thing, it turns out her well, husband now, Mario Falcone, he is infected with this virus, the Alice Tech virus. Who's like that was like the storyline with the Mad Hatter, and his sister, and like if you get the blood it like corrupts you and turns you crazy. Well, he went crazy and he got really jealous of like their relationship, and like right at the end of the episode he's like losing it, and that is like voices in his head, so he picks up a knife, goes to stab her, she doesn't notice or anything, she's looking at that, and then Jim Gordon appears, pops him with a bullet, and now she's pissed off. He's like, yo, he was gonna stab you. And like she obviously didn't know, and that, so she just thought he'd come in and like popped him, but it's like, nah, this actually did happen. So I think she's angry about that. And then like she wanted him dead, and then like there was a hit in the last episode, but then
You know what?
she called it off when she realised he was like under the influence. But now she's pissed off because Carmine was like, yo, you're still in love with him. It's like, don't act like you're like giving it lip or anything like that. It's like you're still in love with him. So I think she's pissed off.
Right, first of all, I don't like that. That's proper soap opera stuff. I'm glad I didn't see that. Also, isn't she a doctor?
Yeah.
You know, you say Falcone, as in the Roman Carmine Falcone.
Yeah.
So it's his son.
Yeah. But
Doesn't a doctor have a problem marrying into a mob family?
Well, Mario was like a good guy. You know what I mean? He was a doctor as well. He was a doctor over at the hospital, like a surgeon, I think.
I think I dislike that even more.
Yeah, so he was like the good egg of like the Falcone family, and then somehow he gets injected with like the blood. I think it was like the Mad Hatter who actually did it. I think he injected him, if I remember rightly. But you don't see that. You just find out about. He says he injected him or something like that. So
Okay.
he ended up going crazy and he popped him. It's like I figure if they were going to bring any son in, they would have brought in Alberto, because he's a bit.
Oh, the crazy killer guy, yeah. Long Halloween.
Yeah, so I figured they would have brought him in, but no, they just bring in Mario, and there's like, but I mean, they've ditched him off. So whether they bring in another son, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Maybe down the years. They might wait for that.
Yeah, so I mean, so basically, she's like annoyed at that, but it's funny because it's interesting how because generally when Indian Hill, when Hugo Strange was bringing back people from the dead, they didn't know who they are. So he was going around like telling them, like making up stuff, like because you seem like, oh, I can tell them whatever and they'll believe me. Like he told. When Theo Galavan got killed, he told him that he was like Azrael or whatever, so he came back as Azrael until he got blown up. And he was like, you see Hugo Strange walking down the things with like Alice in Wonderland books, so you figure, you know what I mean. So the fact that they brought Jerome back and he still had his memories, because he still remembered Jim Gordon and all that, because it was like, oh, are you two still together? And she was like, nah, we split up. So I mean, that was interesting that they brought him back and he happened to have his memories. So I thought that was interesting, considering all they did is electrocute him back to life. So
Do we know who Catwoman Selina Kyle's father is?
nah, that hasn't even been mentioned. That's what I thought. That's what I thought.
In the Long Halloween and Dark Victory.
It's Carmine
story,
Falcone.
yeah, it's Carmine. So could that be possible?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. They brought her back, and all the while I was watching it, and I was like expecting there to be a reference, or at least she could have referenced that it was like a powerful, but it wasn't discussed. It hasn't even been touched on. And now I figure she's out the loop now, so you ain't gonna see her.
Oh, I don't think so. I think the mother. I think she'll be back at some point.
Yeah, but what, for more money or something like that?
Maybe to genuinely make it up. Maybe she'll run into Carmine.
Yeah, I figure if they have like a kind of, not like off screen, but unbeknownst to anyone else, you have her leaving and bumping into him, and like them having like a kind of conversation where it's kind of hinted at. I wouldn't mind that. I figure it'll just turn out for her to be Carmine's daughter or whatever, which I mean, I figure they might as well just go with that. I mean, they've gone with everything else. I mean, you say they've got an issue. You know, they brought the Joker and everyone else in, and they've got this theme, they're running with it. They might as well just come out that she's his daughter. Whether they do anything with it is like whatever. But
yeah, because you know, it's not written in stone in the comics. You know, that it was only really hinted at. But the point is, if you've got him on the show as at least a semi-regular character, you might as well go for it.
So I mean, in terms of next I think we covered most of the plot points and stuff like that. I mean, Lucius Fox is kind of. I don't think.
Does he work for the police?
Yeah, he's kind of. He left Wayne Tech, Wayne Court, Wayne Industries, whatever it is in this. I don't even think it's Wayne. I can't remember what the company is actually called. It's Wayne something.
Wayne.
Yeah, conglomerate or whatever. So like, he left there, and now I think he was like the medical person while Lee left, and now she's come back. So I think he's kind of like, I think like the writers have forgotten about that he was like. So I think he's just like bumming around doing stuff. I don't actually know what his position is now. So I think he's pretty much just took like the Riddler's job. Like obviously you had Lee doing her practitioner thing, and then you have Nigma like just bumbling about doing stuff. I think that's pretty much what he's doing now.
Yeah, that's weird. That's weird. You know, I try. I know if I'm going to watch this show and I'm going to give it a go, I've got to let the comics go to some extent. That's fine, I can. But
I figure
he's a weird character to do without Batman. You know, take all the villains aside, his sole function in the comics is to make weapons and stuff for Batman, right? So to have him around without that seems odd.
Yeah, I think literally like when they go down the line, when Wayne Tech's like, I'm going to call it Wayne Tech, when it's cleaned up, because at the moment it's very corrupt, but when it's like cleaned up to a degree, I think that's when it's kind of, because I think he signed his company away. He sold his company away to like the Court of Owls. So
who? Bruce Wayne.
yeah, so as soon as like the Court of Owls storyline's kind of cleared up and all that's out the way, he'll probably just end up going back to Wayne Tech, and you won't see or hear from him for like until whenever. You'll see him maybe pop up every so often as a consultant, but I think it won't be like much accentuation on the role that he's already got now.
Is Harvey Dent still on the show?
Yeah, still on the show, but
is he Two-Face?
No, not yet. He ain't had like his accident or anything like that. But it's like there's like obviously if you saw the first season, you see him when he had that guy and he kind of melted and grabbed him up. It's like I thought that was good because obviously showing that it was a bit loopy beforehand. So I mean, but apart from that, I think he hasn't been in it for like quite a few episodes. He only pops up like once or twice a season. So I think they're kind of backbenching him for a while because I figure there's no point really doing anything with him except have him pop up every so often until he actually has this accident. But when's that going to be? What kind of court case is that going to be where he's going to pop up unless he indicts Falcone? But I doubt it because he's kind of backbench character as it is anyway. So I mean, unless something really, I think they're saving him till something big can kick off where they can write him in and have him have his accident. So,
okay.
I mean, in terms of next episode, you got the power plant blowing up and the whole city like in darkness. I figure that's got to happen at the start of the night. Because I mean, could you imagine like in like if they did it like in the middle of the night and like 2 hours later, all of a sudden the sun comes up. So I think that's going to be like pretty much set over the course. The episode's going to be set over the course of the night, and I figure it's just going to be like everyone causing havoc. But apparently, Jerome's coming for Bruce Wayne, so he's got a thing with him now. So whether Bruce is going to batter him, that would be pretty good. But that's going to be like a good interaction because they interacted in season 2, I think, when Jerome kind of took him hostage and had like a knife to his throat, but that was only like a couple of seconds. So I mean, for him to have a hard on for Bruce and go after him, I mean, the interaction between them two, you know, because I was expecting that's gonna fill the void because I was expecting like interaction between the Joker and Bruce Wayne in Suicide Squad, and obviously I was left wanting for that. So I mean, this will be it. This is gonna fill the void. So this should be a good episode, especially if Bruce beats him up. I'm kind of hoping because they hinted that he's getting there now. So whether he starts swinging against Jerome would be damn good. So yeah, that's my thoughts. Let's see your final thoughts and then we'll wrap up for this episode. How would you rate the episode out of 10?
6.5.
So you the more you watch it, you'll kind of get there. I think 'cause
You know, my
they're
problems with
ironing
the show
out
was going to stay the same. It was okay, but I think there were some real hokey moments in it.
like
Like the stuff with the Joker's villains, like the stuff with Barbara and her girlfriend.
that's hot
Some
though.
of
Yeah,
the interactions between the characters, the soapy thing with Leslie Tompkins and blood and mind control and all that crap.
yeah, but it's like the Riddler. Not the Riddler. It's the Mad Hatter, isn't it? That's his thing.
Playing his name in the comics too. Um, Bruce Wayne, I think he's quite cool. The thing with, I think it's weird that him and Catwoman are having a rather adult argument, but their relationship seems interesting. The stuff with Alfred's quite good.
Alfred's great. Alfred's
Lucius
a great guy.
Fox, I don't know why he's on the show. He seems like a massive appendage. Get rid of him. But other than that, it wasn't awful. It was okay.
I would have rated that episode. I'd say 9.2.
You're out of your mind. 9.2.
Yeah, but like it's a big episode. It was a big episode. Characters like that.
If this is a 9.2, then I don't want to see the crappy episodes.
Right, so we'll see you guys in the next episode. I'm Sam.
I'm not.
Cool.